going on, guys? Give everybody a few minutes to get in the chat. If anybody even pops in, since we're not streaming through the normal ways at the moment. But before I get through all that and do the introductions, thank you for joining me tonight, Mr. Psycho. How you doing,
Welcome.
man?
Thank you for having me. I'm doing good. How are you?
Uh, I'm doing better. I actually got a chance to go to the gym today and get an actual workout in. It's nice. I haven't had a real gym experience in about 4 months since my accident, so it was nice. Much needed, I should say.
I
I'm
haven't
just
had a
sending
real
out
gym
our link right
experience
now.
in a long time.
Well, that's a whole different situation.
It
That's
is. It absolutely is. It's not. It's not because of any kind of accident. That's for sure.
that's. Oh man, where is it at? I'm trying to send our link out to let people know we're live, in case they didn't get the notifications. And here it goes. Boom, in the chat. Sent. All right. So nobody's in the chat yet. We'll just do the normal. For people who are watching, thanks for joining us again. This is episode 3, 4, something. I've lost count already. That's probably not good. But this is Collector's Hideout. Thanks for joining us. Tonight I actually have a new host, or a new co-host, guest host, whatever you want to call it. It's Mr. Psycho. It's a great friend of mine. Known him fucking almost 30 years? Like
Almost.
27 years?
I mean, closer to 30, I think.
Well, I'm at 30. I didn't know you when I was 10, right? I'm 40, so it can't be 30.
Well,
So
I
it
mean,
would have been around 13, 12 and 13, so 27, 28 years. Um, yeah, it's been a long time. Um, for those who, I know I've got a couple viewers who actually watched the first versions of Collector's Hideout when we did it back in 1920 when we were first attempting it and
Yep.
life got in the way. So if you are a viewer or listener from that era, I'm Wheezy, and that's Mr. Psycho. So you actually put faces because we were just audio back then.
Yeah.
Now we got everything going on. So, you know,
Things
oh
don't
man.
supposed to be broke.
Say what now? So, for those who don't remember or don't know you, obviously, let's just do a quick introduction.
Sure.
What do you do? Like, collection wise, you don't have to get personal life,
Yeah,
just the
yeah.
stuff that people would care about.
So I've actually been collecting a long time, unfortunately, or fortunately, how you depending on how you look at it. My first ever collection was a collection of Michael Jordan memorabilia that I started when I was a kid because Jordan was big in our day. Um, I also collect Nintendo games, products, paraphernalia. Um, love Ninja Turtles, Ghostbusters, first couple seasons of Power Rangers. Um,
Yeah, the good seasons.
yeah, yeah, and that's pretty much what the majority of my collection revolves around. However, I enjoy, the X-Men animated series, Spider-Man. Um, what else do I have in my collection? I have Batman the animated series stuff. So it's kind of mostly the stuff that I grew up with, and some of the remastering or retooling of those things. So like the Street Sharks just came out again recently, and I picked those up because those were fantastic sculpts. Um, I was doing the DC Direct Batman the Animated Series line until they handed over to McFarlane, and I was not a fan of the McFarlane designs, so I kind of
Understandable.
stopped that.
Oh man. So I mean, you've definitely got a lot. I've seen most of your collection. Some of it in boxes because you haven't had the space to really flush it out and display it properly.
My hope is
But
that
I
I'll be
know you
getting.
are working on changing that.
Yeah, I mean, my hope is I'll be getting to that soon. So maybe the next couple times that I'm on, we'll see it in progress as it goes until eventually it is done.
I mean, it looks real plain behind you right now. So
It does. Yeah, it does. This is the dining room. It's not actually my collectible room. If I were to kind of turn my camera more, I might be able to get a view of some of my Hot Toys figures that I have, because those are in the living room. But I don't know.
Oh, those dolls.
I mean, not much to say
I
about
can't
that.
do. I can't do the Hot Toys. I mean, it is what it is. They look great. Because I know once I start buying Hot Toys, even if I go for one Hot Toy, like you've been trying for the longest to get me to get one Predator Hot Toy, I know I won't be able to stop at one. It'll be like Pringles. You just can't, because it's not like they've done only the Jungle Hunter and like the City Hunter. So it's like, oh, it's the same Predators over and over. Like, they've done some really out there designs when it comes to Predator that I feel I would rather have those over the classic Jungle Hunter, right? So I know if I get one, I'll be like, oh, well, I got one. He needs a friend. And then when I get the friend, I'll be like, well, when they don't like each other, they need somebody else to hang out with. And I got a third one. It's like, fuck it, I might as well get all of them at that point.
So I mean, yes, because I started with Hot Toys with one specific figure, right? So the figure that kind of got me to buy Hot Toys was the Christopher Reeve Superman. I thought that figure was amazing. It was the first figure that had been created that was actually in Christopher Reeve's likeness. The costume was meant to be a reproduction of the costume, and so it was the first Hot Toys figure I bought. And I still love that figure. And from there, it kind of expanded to Captain America from the first movie. And then I bought the Man of Steel Hot Toys figure, because I was like, well, if this is going to be our new Superman, then, I'll have two eras, right? Like, it'll be the representation of two eras.
And they've had two more Supermen since then.
They have, yeah. And I pre-ordered the Hot Toy figure for the new Superman movie as well. But I mean, my Hot Toy line has kind of expanded. So I have a bunch of the Spider-Man No Way Home film Hot Toys. So I have both versions of Green Goblin, the classic look, and then the look from the movie. I have Doc Ock. I have Electro. I have the Tobey Maguire and Tom Holland Spider-Man figures.
You have a lot more than I thought you had. So
yeah.
It's almost a sickness. So
I mean, so my collections in the other departments have scaled back significantly. And where those have scaled back, my Hot Toys figures have scaled up. Because I figure if I'm going to spend money on something, right? So you and I were talking before the show started about the Bodacious Beach Bros, right? Like, you weren't into that figure. I was. The NECA, Vacation Turtles, for those who didn't know the name. Yeah. And that set was $150, right? I mean,
it's
one of the most
set.
Yeah, I mean, one of the most recent Hot Toys figures I ordered was they redid the Terminator from Terminator 2. They redid Schwarzenegger, and I wanted the first one, but the remake of it is way better, and so I pre-ordered that. But that figure was like $190, right?
God dang.
It's 12 inches. Everything is movie accurate. It's cloth. It's leather. Right, and so it's definitely a premium item, and it's definitely more of a front and center piece, for lack of a better term.
Okay, makes sense.
So, like, my Hot Toys actually are displayed in my living room. My wife likes the Hot Toys figures. She likes the way that they look, and I have them displayed in the fantastic IKEA Detolf cabinets.
So you've got the wife's approval to bring them out.
Yeah, so not always the approval to buy them, right? But
of course, once I got them, I might as well show them.
Most of them she does like, and she even has a couple herself. One that I would really love to display, and my wife wants to have displayed. I got the Venom from the Spider-Man 2 video game, and he's gigantic, so he won't fit in the Detolf cabinet unless I take shelves out. But if I take shelves out, there's no room for the other figures. So,
Oh shit! Give me one. I'm trying to plug in.
no, you're good.
Charge on a phone.
You are good.
There we go. But so I know we were discussing before was the that damn NECA set. Hey, what's going on, Gustavo? That I wasn't sure if anybody was gonna find us, man. So thank you for fucking being here, because we're not going through the normal channels, but I know we are going through currently through Shellhead on YouTube and also through Collector's Hideout on YouTube. Here, people are finally showing up, man.
Yep.
Hell yeah, what's going on, Joe? But that set, man, that turtle surfing set, it looks good, and I like that they're all specific turtles from specific episodes.
Yeah.
Cool. And I just personally can't complete turtles anymore, so I'm just stepping out of trying to complete turtles and only getting the necessities or necessary characters who are new, original characters. Like, I can't be doing all the variants. I can't. For those who can or like them, the set looks great. There's nothing wrong with the set. I fucking can't. Like,
I hear you.
Because I didn't do the Super 7 2003 Turtles. Like, I fucking can't.
I stepped out of the comic line, right? So, like, when they started doing the comics, I was buying the comic and the Archie comic figures. And then I'm like, I just can't, right? And I mean, and that followed the decision I made when they were doing the video game line for a while. I couldn't do it. It was too much.
I wanted so much more of that video game line. Like, they didn't cancel; they just put it on the back burner for the comic book line. But there was so much potential there.
Was there
for the video game?
Yeah.
So, I mean, technically, what it turns into variants, right?
Yeah.
But in that case, I would buy those characters who have already had characters released, because it's the video game version. It's not like, oh, here's Bebop and Rocksteady dressed as a baby and old woman. Like, that's just, whatever, you know? But because it's the video game version, like, I got them dressed as pirates, because it's specific to that video game, I would buy all those characters. So, I mean, there was a bunch of characters, and then if they had the chance to also, because they're doing video games, break into the Shredder, whatever, the new one that came out?
Yeah.
You had a bunch more characters that weren't in previous games. Like, there was definitely room to grow, but I think they just felt they had more to do with, they had more grounds when it came to the comic book line versus doing the toys. Let me see. We got people in the chat talking. Okay. What we got here? Nicole, hey, how you doing, Nicole? Thanks for joining us. Have you guys seen any Nightcrawler merch or Nightcrawler? Like, they just released at Comic-Con not Super 7. Mondo. Somebody showed off a really dope Nightcrawler with, like, blue and, like, black shading on his face. Maybe it's Mafex. It's one of them. There is a new Nightcrawler coming out. I can't tell you who it is yet, but there is a new Nightcrawler coming. Joe, what is it? Tony owes me not knowing who nobody in his. Tony owes a lot of people, man. People are coming in now. We'll just let people know now. Tony is out for the evening. He had prior engagements, I guess, that he forgot about with the missus, with Rebel Girl. So he said he'd rather be with her than hang out with all of us, you know? So that's how we redheaded stepchildren get handled. It's just, it is what it is.
The Nightcrawler figure you were talking about was showed off by Mezco. It's part of their 112 line.
Mezco, okay, there you go.
It was shown at, or 112 Collective, excuse me, and it was shown at SDCC this year.
So there you go, Nicole. There's a Nightcrawler from Mezco. It's going to be $100 Nightcrawler, but he'll have like fabric uniform and everything, so it'll be worth it if you care about those things. Oh, Gustavo, yeah, J5. He's supposed to be here. He said he was having trouble with the computer, having more technical difficulties. So J5, he might pop in, but he was supposed to be here. So, and that's your brother. Go smack him around. Like you should be able to yell at him or something. What else we got? I don't want to ignore people in the chat. Nicole again with what Halloween Horror Nights is actually coming, and Halloween Horror Nights. I go every year. I'm super excited for Halloween Horror Nights. I always get excited. They've got obviously Terrifier this year, which I think that's going to be my number one most anticipated house. But then when they just announced the Wyatt 6 house, I'm curious to see what that is, how they handle that, how well they pay homage to even Bray Wyatt in general. Because obviously without him, there would be no Wyatt 6. So I'm excited to see what they do with that. And you, Mr. Psycho, were saying you wanted to come, but then you're kind of running into this timing.
Yeah,
I think you should still work it out, because what I'm doing, this is what I'm doing, right? And I forgot to buy my ticket the other night. I have to buy it tonight. They have a ticket. It's like $200, but you can go as many times as you want within like the first 18 days of it opening. So from August 30th to September 31st, within that time, there's 18 dates. You can go as many times as you want. So I'm going to buy that ticket, and I'm going to go as many times as I want. Cheaper than doing a ticket and then doing a fast pass, because then it's almost $400 after everything.
I think for me, right, it's like, because I'm not really into Halloween Horror Nights. I've been twice, and both of my excursions to Horror Nights were because of Ghostbuster houses, right? So the one they did in 2019 before the pandemic shut everything down, we all went. Well, you and I and our friend group, we went, and the Ghostbusters house was amazing.
Yep.
We did it twice. And then last year they did Ghostbusters, and I thought that house was amazing.
It was. That was a great house.
It was fantastically done. I really wish that they would.
I did that house twice last year, too.
I really wish that they would kind of make Ghostbusters an annual thing. But I guess the issue is there's not enough material or there's not enough interest, right? So
they haven't done. They've never done a annual like. A franchise or a house that's there every year. Every year it changes. For the IPs, usually it has to be a movie year or just past a movie year or a coming movie year for an IP. I'm honestly surprised they ever even did Ghostbusters. And they did great jobs on both houses. I'm surprised they ever did them. I'm glad they did. It was never one that I would ever consider them to do. Oh, shit. But, if anything, apparently, before I started going, during Halloween Horror Nights, they used to drive around the Ecto-1. And Ghostbusters would walk the streets every year.
Yeah.
I wish they'd bring that back. Because that'd just be cool to see. Because you've got all these ghosts and zombies and crap. It'd be cool to see them as they go through the scare zones, have them interact and like bust whatever's there. I think that could be really fun. Hopefully, maybe they'll do it this year.
Well, I know for a couple of years they did Stranger Things back to back.
So that's because they were doing different seasons, right? So it's like, oh, this is that season. Same thing with Walking Dead. There was a good stretch where either every year they had a Walking Dead house or they had a Walking Dead scare zone. But like the Walking Dead house, you'd walk in at the beginning of the season. As you left the haunted house, it'd be the end of the season going into the new season for the next year. It's like, so they did do it with them, but like I said, it was a different season every year. So like Ghostbusters, like what did they have? The second movie? Okay, but then you got nothing. Unless they want to start like digging into the video game and comic books, and I think you get a lot from the comic books, not necessarily the video game, but. Where else we got in the chat?
Jose jumped in, which is cool. Jose's in.
Yeah, I just saw that. Okay, yeah. Then we got Joe. J5 is his own tech support. I mean, I think Gustavo's his tech support, to be honest. Um, I can't even find it. Like the chat's blowing up right now. Oh yeah, so Joe, right here. The Terrifier house at Halloween Horror Nights does have a wet and dry option for blood, which is amazing. That's that's one of the reasons why I was like, I want to do multiple nights. Because when I usually use the fast pass, I go to each house one time, unless it's been like a really easy flow. I might go around and hit a couple other houses afterwards that I didn't use a fast pass on or whatever. But I'm curious to see how wet the wet side of Terrifier is. John, have you seen Terrifier?
No.
It's so bad.
It's the weirdest thing. It was when I was younger, I liked horror movies, right? But I don't think that. Again, this might be a hot take, but for me, horror movies aren't horror movies anymore, right? So what they did was they took the horror genre and they're like, okay, so now horror is going to be slasher, and that's what we're going to have, right? We're going to have a bunch of people getting killed. There's not really like mainstream horror. And again, I don't really go out and watch them anymore because for
you've missed a lot of. Well, you haven't missed because you don't watch it, but there's been a lot of good horror that's not slasher. But yeah, slasher's definitely its own genre. Like it's.
Yeah.
But you should check out Art. That's his name, but Terrifier. That shit is gruesome. It's like if you took slasher, but then they take the gore factor of like all the Saw movies, where they try to go over the top gore, and they combine them shits, and you get Terrifier. Apparently, Jose, thank you for joining us, Jose. That's awesome, man. Hey, look, he just says some Cuban guy. That's amazing. He is some Cuban guy, but he's excited for that house too. So. I'll definitely be letting Jose know which nights I plan on going so he can work around his schedule and he can come up there.
For me, I mostly go just to kind of hang out with people, right? Like,
right.
What did I do? I did 3 houses last year.
Yeah, but you have like an asthma thing when it comes to like all the smoke, and Halloween Horror Nights loves their smoke.
They do.
So, but Joe, you know what? Ghostbusters is vanilla. In comparison to what we are used to being horror now, the first Ghostbusters, I'll argue with anybody, the first Ghostbusters is a horror movie. The second one, not so much. The second one to me is more of almost a romantic comedy with a very slight horror contrast to it. But I don't think it's too vanilla because the 2 houses they did were rated as some of the best houses of those years. It has to be done right. Just like when they did Alien vs. Predator, that's another one that I would never really expect Halloween Horror Nights to do because people don't look at those movies as horror movies. But when they did the Alien vs. Predator houses, it was sick. It was a great house. But I think they could do another Ghostbusters. I think they should just have them driving around, busting all the bad guys out in the field. Jose, they're doing the Friday the 13th universe, so I feel like they've done. I think if they've done Jason, it's been like in compilation houses where it's like Jason, Freddy, Michael Myers, and Leatherface, like all in the same house. I don't know if Jason's ever had his own house. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. Wow, there's a fucking lot going on here. All right, so Jesus Christ. But yeah, so
jumping now.
Yeah, Jose and Joe are going at it. I mean, Jose, we'll discuss it, but if you're doing Fast Pass, man, you might be on your own because if I'm doing the multi-visit ticket, I'm probably not going to do Fast Pass because that'll be almost another $150+ and that just won't make financial sense. Just giving you a heads up on that one. We could go early and just knock it out. We can see many of the houses, and if you have like a list of these are the houses you want to do, we can make sure to do those houses. But that's up to you. You can figure that out. We'll discuss it on the other side. Um, let's. The second one is okay. So, Jose, you're right and wrong. He's right and wrong. The scene with Janos as the nanny is the only scary part of that fucking movie, and as a child, it terrified me. And I honestly, I'll tell you this: it was probably until my early teens watching it again that I realized it was Janos. I thought it was just like a witch. I'm like, you never see her again. I'm like, I didn't understand. As I got older, I watched like, oh, it's fucking Janos. It's not as scary anymore, but that terrified me as a child.
He is Vigo. You were like the buzzing of flies to him.
Like it was. But I remember as a kid, I'm like, where'd this person come from? Why did he steal the baby? And like, you never see it again. It confused me as a child, but it's also terrified me. So,
Yeah, you know what's interesting though? I mean, and not to disagree with you, but like, I have a young daughter, and she loves the Ghostbusters movies. But I gotta tell you, there were only a handful of parts in the first Ghostbusters movie that scared her. So when the terror dog busts out of the chair and pulls Dana away, that she was scared of that.
So
The zombie in the taxi, she was scared of that. The two of them turning into dogs on the rooftop, she was scared of that. But in Ghostbusters 2, the bathtub coming alive freaked her out. Dan Aykroyd being pulled into the slime because the thing like reaches out and grabs him and it's like trying to pull him down. She didn't like that. She didn't like Janos as the flying witch. Right, like there were some parts in there for kids. I mean, and again, she was watching them at 3 or 4 years old because I love those movies. But there were parts in the second one that really scared her that she didn't like watching. So I don't know.
I mean, because I can only think about it as me from when I was a kid watching it, right? And I can remember as a child, I can't remember when I first watched Ghostbusters because I was like 2 years old when I first watched it. And my mother would walk out at like 3 in the morning. She'd hear the TV on, and I'd be like this far from the TV screen watching Ghostbusters. I wore out like 4 or 5 tapes of Ghostbusters.
Yep.
So I can't tell you what as a kid I found scary. I love the fucking movie though. I can see though, thinking about Ghostbusters 1, kids at any set, especially in the 80s, because kids now versus kids in the 80s are two different, completely different type of kids. But in the 80s, I could definitely see the library ghost being terrifying. Right? The terror dog, the hands coming out, the terror dog busting through the door. I can see it terrifying a child, right?
I always laughed at that part as a kid, though, because it's so absurd. Like, when the dog busts through the door, he hits the wall and falls down and shakes his head like he knocked himself out. Like, I guess I could see how that was scary, but I always thought that was so funny because it hit its head, and it's like a cartoon, like shaking its head because it knocked itself out.
Because then, even as a kid, because you have, like I said, you think about kids in the 80s, right? Because some of us are demented. Like I said, I was 2 fucking watching it, so like, there's some kids who are built different. Yeah. But even Peter getting attacked by Slimer, I can see kids finding that scary. Not terrifying like Janos is the fucking witch, but I can see them finding that scary. But then thinking about Ghostbusters 2, until you mentioned it, I would have never considered the bathtub scene scary. The only scenes that I could see being scary in Ghostbusters 2 would be Janos is the witch, and then possibly, for reasons when you look into the depth of what the scene was and everything, the Winston in the subway with the heads and the tray, I could see that being terrifying for somebody. But I don't see anything else in it. Ray turning into Vigo, I could see that scaring the shit out of somebody.
Yeah, I mean, and you're also forgetting the scene where the Glenn Fry song is playing. I forget what the song is, but the woman's coming out of the movie theater, walks through the ooze or the slime, and then her fur coat comes alive, and all those like creatures come shooting out of her back and start biting at her head, and she like throws the thing down on the ground. It like runs away. The fur coat, like that.
Right, the mink coat or whatever.
Yeah, my daughter did not like that either because the coat just comes alive, tries to attack
See,
the
that's the
woman,
one
and
that I
runs
thought that was
away.
hilarious. I remember watching that as a kid. I thought that was hilarious. What? I was on set during filming, and Bill Murray had security escort us off set. Joe, you've lived an interesting life. Um, you play cards with Iron Man, and you were on the set of Ghostbusters. Joe, one of these days on a collector's hat, I'm gonna have you on. We're just gonna go over your life story of what the hell you've done, because Jesus Christ, or what you do apparently. He 3D printed a Predator gauntlet that actually works. Like you move your hand and like it pops out. Like
That's cool.
yeah, I'm trying to figure out a way to steal it because I think he wants money for it, and I ain't getting monetized on this shit. So I gotta figure something out. Um, let's see, Jose's still going. Bathtub scene was here we go. Bathtub scene was only scary for me when I was because also just seeing a remake of The Blob. See, what I could think of as thinking as a kid, okay, I can see where Bathtub might be scary, right? Because then it also makes me think of which movie was it? Not Problem Child. One of those movies, the 3 Men and a Baby. One of those movies. Fuck. The kid goes in the bathroom and like the toilet's like alive, and he's like, "I want your pee pee." And like, I don't remember what the hell it was, but like, it was like Fearsome Flush. And I can see
know
what
you're talking about, but I don't remember the name of it.
I can't
but
remember
I know
what
you're
fucking
talking
movie
about.
that was. It's got to be Look Who's Talking Now because the kid wasn't talking. It has to be one of the Look Who's Talking movies. It has to be. Somebody in the chat has to know. Joe probably fucking knows. It has to be Look Who's Talking or Look Who's Talking Now maybe. Because I think Look Who's Talking was when he was a baby. Look Who's Talking Now was the prequel where he's older and they have another girl baby. And they talk to each other without talking to each other. Right? No?
If I saw those movies, and I think I did, I may have seen them once when they first came out, and that was probably the end. Yeah, Jose's saying look who's talking now.
Yeah, he said yeah. So me and Jose are on the same page. I'm pretty sure it was Look Who's Talking Now. Because I remember the kid in his mind, he's like, oh, and he's like freaking out in his head, talking, but the voice narrating his thoughts is a grown-ass man. So it has to be Look Who's Talking Now.
Yeah, wasn't it, Bruce Willis that was the voice of the kid? Like, it was somebody famous who was,
Shit.
who voiced the kid, but did like the internal monologue.
You know what? Thinking about the voice, I can see it. I can hear it. Should I say? Oh yeah. So apparently, according to Jose, it was him. So yeah. What's going on, Mechadome? Yeah, no, Tony is playing John Cena right now. He's off hanging out with Rebel Girl. He didn't want to hang out with us tonight, so it is what it is. I guess women just beat out his friends and his nerd friends. It just so. What the fuck?
Tony's getting his wish. On Tuesday, he was saying he wanted to talk about movies, and here we are talking about movies. Like, it's a good day.
Yeah, I don't want to go into that realm that he was talking about right now because obviously he has like a very specific thought process and something I've never thought about when it comes to movies. So it's like one of those things because he's like, oh, guys, talk about that tonight. And I'm like, bro, I can't because he looks at movies apparently differently than I do. And he looks further into them. I'm just like, yo, it's a movie. I enjoyed it. Yeah, I can see similarities. But I need him to, like, point out the things for me to then pick up on, like, oh, shit, yeah. Because when he's like, oh, they came from somewhere, and where they came from, and I said it in the podcast on Tuesday, like, yeah, so you mean, like, mythological stories from, like, the 1700s where the stories, like, originated from that we just now bite. So I need to hear his actual examples and go from there. So we'll do that some other time. Who knows when? That'll come back around eventually.
You did say something interesting a couple of minutes ago that I thought might be interesting to discuss for the people in the chat. And
Hell yeah, let's do
You
it.
and I here. You said that the kids in the '80s were built differently than the kids of this generation, and I think to a certain extent that's true,
Definitely
right?
different.
But like, what was the first horror movie, like genuine horror movie, that you remember watching? Because for me, the first horror movie I absolutely remember watching was The Howling, right? And that movie scared the hell out of me as a kid.
Well,
So much.
so when it comes to horror, I've discussed this before. Uh, I don't remember where, if it was on one of these or if one of the ones we recorded and didn't release or whatever. I don't remember the first horror movie that I can faithfully say I sat down and I remember watching it, right? So the first one I can think of that I can have a vivid memory of watching, but I already loved horror when it came out, so I obviously watched before, was Scream, right? Obviously, I watched horror before that because I loved horror already, and that's why I wanted to see Scream. I just can't pick out the movie. I remember as a kid, the first time I was at a friend's house, and we were having like a sleepover, and he and I snuck out of the bedroom, and his dad was watching Alien or Aliens, and I remember seeing the scene where the face huggers in the room with Newt and Ripley, and he comes out and running across the fucking floor. I remember seeing that. I remember as a kid scenes from The Blob. It's funny that Jose mentioned. I remember seeing scenes from The Blob. Monster Squad, not really horror comedy. Like I remember seeing clips and this and that, but not like a full fledged sat down watched this horror movie. That I can't remember exactly what the first one was before Scream. But even like Ernest Scared Stupid, like I've seen all these shits. As a
Yeah.
kid, I watched them because I've seen them growing up, and it was before Scream came out. But I can't remember like what the actual first fucking horror movie was.
Yeah. For me, it was The Howling, and it was very unpleasant for me afterwards. Like I did not want to go in a dark room. I did not want to deal with any of that. Um, the second one I saw though was Texas Chainsaw Massacre, uh, which I was young enough at that point. I had no idea what was going on. Like, wow, why is this happening? Uh, yeah.
Oh shit! That's
What, what is funny
I'm
though is,
picture like a 4-year-old Mr. Psycho sitting there, and then your dad just like, here, let's watch this, kid. Puts on fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
actually, my dad hates those movies. So funnily enough, I watched The Howling with my older cousins, and I was probably 6 years old, maybe 7. And then it was a couple years later, I was with my dad's friends' kids who were older than me, and they wanted to watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and we were all like having a giant slumber party, and we watched, and like I said, I might have been 8, and I was like, what is happening?
So,
Um,
I was just thinking about the question you asked before about like the first horror movie, right?
yeah,
And I'm thinking also about as a child. So as a kid, we don't have typically you don't have access to the Texas Chainsaw Massacres on a regular basis, right?
yeah,
But then you got to think about kid horror movies. Like there were movies that were for kids that were very horror esque, but they were kids movies, right? So I can't think of the goddamn name of it. Fred Savage is in it. He's got monsters that live under
oh
the bed.
yeah, I know I know what you're talking about.
Like,
Yeah,
I think it's Howie Mandel's the
Mandela
monster.
is the blue monster. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember watching that as a kid.
But see, that is a kids movie, and it's not a horror movie. But there were some scenes that I've watched it more recently, and it's like there's some scenes I'm like, yo, that's kind of rough for a child to be watching. But then I remember like, oh, this was the 80s and 90s. It makes a lot of sense. Where, like I said, we were built different. We can handle those types of things.
Yeah, Jose got it in the chat. Little Monsters.
Little
Yeah.
Monsters. There you go. Yeah. What else we got up here? So Jose's. So everybody else in the chat, I think we got like 5, 6 people watching. What was your first horror movie you remember watching as a kid, or the first one you remember watching? Maybe it was as an adult. Who knows? But the first one you remember. Jose says, "Huh."
No, I say there were even cartoons. Like when you think about it, there were cartoons
Bro.
that were very horror-esque, but were mainstream, like Secret of Nim, right? Like there were a lot of horrific things that happened in that movie that you could say, were elements of horror.
Have you ever seen Black Cauldron?
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know when that came out because I remember the first time seeing that was when I was babysitting. Not babysitting. Is my brother. I was at home, but Corey was watching it when he was a small child. I was like, I've never seen this. I was like, holy shit, this is kind of holy crap. There's some crazy imagery here.
Yeah, that was the movie that caused Disney to start the Disney Renaissance. Actually, that movie
was old. Okay,
that movie was so disliked in the theaters. Was such a flop for Disney because they thought it was too. Well, I mean, but they thought it was too dark. They thought it was too brooding. They thought it had too many problems. It wasn't for
really
kids.
Get darker than like every Disney movie kills the mother somehow. Like, how much darker can you really fucking get?
But I mean, they sing when they're doing it, so it's okay.
Oh, touche. Or a fire does it, right? Yeah. Okay.
Or a hunter that you never see and never hear.
So Jose's first was Friday the 13th, Part 5. Oh, bro, what? I feel like Part 5 came out like in the late 90s. It obviously didn't, but like Jesus, I'm just old. Just old. Oh, I have a question for Joe up here. He can take his time, right? Where the fuck did it go? The fact that Cena. Oh, so Jose was saying that one of the first movies, coincidentally, Aliens. He walked in on an Aliens scene too. Is that in fact the scene was the parents were watching it where Bishop gets ripped in half. If as a kid you walk in, you just see this guy get torn in half. I mean that's even though it's white and not red, but still that's that could be rough. So Joe, asking you, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Nothing about that movie, but did you see a movie that came out called Close Encounters? No, it wasn't Close Encounters. It was God damn, man, it came out like I'm gonna say like 5 years ago, but it was more like probably 10 to 15.
You talking about The Fourth Kind?
The Fourth Kind. How the fuck did you?
Because if you said The Third Kind, like
The Fourth Kind. That movie. I went and saw that movie in theaters on a movie premiere thing with my wife and a few friends. A mutual friend of ours, Mr. Bighead, Pulaski. Me and our buddy Mark, we all went to the movie premiere for that Fourth Kind movie, and that movie tripped us up. That movie was crazy watching it. And then we did not... Because it's filmed like a documentary. And we weren't sure if it was real footage or not. And that's how... That was the scariest part. Because like, if this is real, this is insanity what was caught. So like, we were driving home, and Mark was like... It was fucking with his head. To where he was on his phone looking it up. He's like, okay, no, it's fake. This is all fake. None of that was real. The people that was all actors. Like, okay. Like, that movie, though, really hit us hard.
I could see the shark getting kind of crazy with that.
The shark? That's fucked up. Oh, shit. All right, we got people answering stuff in here too. I don't want to like miss people. I haven't seen The Witches. Maybe.
I'm sure you have, man. Where the witches turn the kids into mice and then eat them. They just did a remake of it
Oh, shit,
recently with
yeah.
Anne Hathaway.
And they're like horrific witches, aren't they?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah. Angelica Houston was in the original one. She was the, Morticia Adams was the head, like, witch in the original one. And that movie was absolutely crazy.
AJ, welcome. I'm not familiar with the JB. I appreciate you coming in. Welcome to the show. Probably Aliens. I mean, that's a rough one. If that's your first movie, that could be... I mean, it's not as scary as Alien if you do the slow burn of Alien, but the graphics of Aliens can definitely be higher than Alien. That's... Whew. And then he corrected himself as Alien Resurrection. Damn it, Jay. I liked you for a second there. I liked you. Alien Resurrection isn't bad. I love Alien Resurrection. It's got a special place in my heart. But
Is Jay actually Che?
I don't know. I don't know who Jay is. If Jay is Che, I've drank too much for that conversation. I can't.
No. Joe, you not Hocus Pocus. The movie was the movie was called Witches with Angelica Houston, and that movie there's some terrible body dysmorphia going on in there. They turn like hideous. It looks like Angelica Houston actually turns into the troll from Ernest Scared Stupid, except actually scary and eating children that she turned into mice.
First of all, Ernest Scared Stupid Troll is pretty fucking scary, so kiss my ass. As a child, that was actually a pretty fucking disgusting troll.
I wish that I had had the experience with Aliens that you and Jose and some of the other people in the chat have said, because growing up, the only Alien movie I had seen was Aliens. And it wasn't until you and I were in high school, and you were talking about the other Alien movies, and I was like, "Oh, I hadn't seen those," and you're like, "Oh, we're gonna watch them," and we did. And I mean, by that time, though, I think that the impact of the first movie was lost on me because I was older. But
you already knew it was coming too.
Yeah.
Part of the thing with the first movie, especially that made it so good that people, when it released, is that they weren't expecting anything to be what it was. Like, they weren't expecting the goddamn chest buster to come out. Like, they weren't expecting this shit. They went in for a ride and got a goddamn fucking roller coaster.
Yeah.
So, all right, I'm just gonna let people know now, and I'm gonna throw his business out there. Chat, this is Che. He will be on here eventually. This is as Little Haiti. This is Che. Females have a tendency to hear him say his name, and they say, "Oh, Jay." So then now he's adopted the persona of Jay. Because so many people, especially of the female persuasion, have called him Jay for not understanding his name. But it's Che, C-H-E. That's it.
It's also crazy when you think about that Terminator was meant to be a horror movie. The original Terminator.
Yeah,
right?
100% horror movie. We discussed that. Bro, But people don't like that take when I said that shit was a horror movie. I put that clip up on YouTube, and I had some people in their feelings. They were mad. This ain't a joke. They were pissed.
Like Terminator 2 is a sci-fi movie, right? But Terminator was absolutely a horror movie. And it was more horror than people even give it credit for when they acknowledge that it was a horror movie, right? Like, yes, there is this unstoppable monster, right? Like Jason or Freddy or whatever, who is just killing people. But more than that, it's this idea that technology, which we're surrounded... I mean, we're talking about their concern for technology in 1984, and here we are in 2025, so, 40 years later, and technology's only gotten bigger, but it was the idea that technology was controlling everything and could eventually, supplant humanity. And so...
And look where we are.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people believe that Terminator's not a horror movie, but it absolutely is a horror movie. It absolutely is.
You know, it's like, you know, people say all the time, like, if you take one aspect, you change this. Well, you could do that with any movie. But literally, if you took Jason or Michael Myers and threw them in the place of the T-800, you have the exact same movie. He's just not from the future. He's from the fucking waters of a camp. And now he's trying to kill people.
You wouldn't even have to do that. Just take away his guns and give him a knife or a machete, and he is Jason or Freddy.
Right. No, but the I think the thing that people get hung up on, and chat, you know, let me know if you don't agree, but it's the same thing that happens with the first Alien movie, is that people hear Alien, people hear Terminator from the future, you know, Cyborg, they automatically, because of those, they're like sci-fi, but it's not. It's not a sci-fi movie. It has sci-fi elements, but it's not a sci-fi movie. But people just automatically, they hear robot, they hear alien, they hear this. They're just like, oh, no, it's a sci-fi movie. And it fucking isn't. It's paranormal when it comes to aliens, if you want to get, you know, go down that rabbit hole. But it's definitely doesn't have to be sci-fi just because it's a robot or an alien.
Yeah, I mean, the Terminator attacks in the dark, right? There's the scene where he kills the couple in the house. It's nighttime, right? Like, there's dark alleyways. You don't know what's going on. The light is not consistent. They're being tracked. They're being chased, right? Like, I don't understand how somebody could watch the first Terminator movie and think to themselves, no, this isn't a horror movie, because it absolutely is.
Because I always think if you could take one aspect of a movie and remove it and still have the same thing, it's not in that realm, right? So if you took Terminator and you remove the sent from the future aspect, it's just a guy gone crazy killing everybody. Like, it really had no bearing on it for what the story is. There's a bearing, but for what you actually see and what the movie is, it's not a necessity of that story. For the second one, it's a much more involved story with the time travel and why this and that, and it unfolds and flushes out much better. But yeah, no, the first one, definitely horror.
I wish that I had been able to experience, like Joe was saying in the chat, like, in space, no one can hear you scream being the tagline for Alien. But it was just, I don't know, we were, 15 years old, 16, the first time I saw Alien, because you showed it to me. And at that point, it wasn't scary. I didn't feel like this intense buildup of anxiety, which I guess is what people experience seeing it for the first time in theaters, right? Because you have no idea what's killing you.
Right. I mean, one of the ideas, because I forgot what I was watching about Alien, and somebody had explained it perfectly, is that the movie Alien is a haunted house movie, but you can't run out the front door and leave. You're stuck in the haunted house.
Okay.
Like, that's what it is. You don't see the thing. You don't know what you're battling, right? It's all in the shadows for the most part. And it's a haunted house movie. Joe, you are my spirit animal right now. I use ChatGPT, and I always say thank you. And I feel like, man, why did I say it? It's fucking AI. But they're always like, you're welcome. I'm like, you know what? Just in case. Just in case.
In like 2 years, ChatGPT is going to rebrand itself to Skynet.
That Chris guy, he was always nice to us. We helped him design some logos. He's good people. Oh, man. Oh, shit.
We're going to send him to build us instead of for extermination.
We'll enslave him to build us. That's what he gets for being polite.
No, it's going to be like, we work for you, now you work for us.
It's fucking Russia now. God damn it. Oh, man. Oh, somebody else has said something. It's probably... Or no, you already did that. Fucking... I didn't see that where Joe said Bette Midler.
Yeah.
I was like, how the hell did you know he was talking about fucking Hocus Pocus all of a sudden? That's why. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. But yeah, man. I there's there's such a deep rabbit hole to go down when it comes to those movies. And when do you think you're gonna show Evangeline aliens or Alien?
Uh, well, I mean, those are two very distinct questions, right? So,
Well,
if I,
they
if I
are,
didn't-
but when you think about it, I mean, depends on what your thing is distinct. Because Alien's the horror movie, right? Well, Aliens is the sci-fi movie. But when you really look at it for what it is, I feel for kids there's more scary parts in Aliens than Alien. Because Alien, one of the biggest factors of Alien was the chestbuster scene, right? That's what
Yeah.
made it so legendary. Because that fucked up people's heads.
yes,
Then you had, but everything else is done in the shadows, really a slow burn through most of the rest of the movie, before and after, until you get to the end where she blows the goddamn alien out the lock. Whereas Aliens, you have swarms, you have Bishop getting ripped in half, you have the scene with the face hugger chasing Ripley and Newt, you have the aliens in the ceilings coming out, grabbing people, killing people, putting their fucking mouths through people's heads. Like, there's a lot more graphic shock in Aliens than there is in Alien. That's
I mean, because I was just about to say that I would be more inclined to show her Aliens before I showed her Alien, but that's that's not taking into consideration the things that you were just saying. Because for me, I saw Aliens as a kid because my dad is a huge James Cameron fan, right? So I watched The Abyss, I watched Terminator, I watched Terminator 2, but I never really thought about it like that because you're right. There's not a whole lot to be seen in Alien.
Alien very much, not to the same extent, but Alien very much has the Jaws effect. Right? Like, you have one scene here, like, where it's like, holy shit. But then everything else is just, like, really in the shadows. You don't see the creature. You see, like, a part of the creature. You know what I mean? You don't get that full experience of it, and that's what makes it so successful. Right? Is that suspense side of those movies. Whereas in Aliens, there is no suspense. It's guns blazing. War.
I guess the suspense is supposed to come from the moment when the alien queen is shown because you don't see that in the first movie and like you don't know what it is that's making these eggs and they talk about it and so I guess the suspense is supposed to come from look at how gigantic this thing is.
But it's not the same suspense because going into Aliens, for people who watched Alien to go into Aliens, you kind of know what you think you know what to expect, right? You got a completely different movie than the first one, but you already knew what the creature was. You never saw the queen, but that level of suspense that was from the first one wasn't anything near the same as Aliens. Aliens had like a little suspense because it's more of the, if anything, it was more on the parental side of it because you're following Ripley who's taking care of a child, and as a parent you're like, oh, this is a child, you want to nurture it and you have to protect them. And there's a suspense there when she gets abducted and I have to go find her. Like, there's suspense, but it's not the same type of suspense.
Yeah.
It's not fear suspense. It's more anxiety suspense.
Yeah.
You know? If that's even a thing, because I feel like I made that up. But hey, it works.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know when I'll show her either of those movies. I can tell you I don't intend to show her Jaws for a very, very long time because I don't. I mean, and I don't. And you and I have talked about this many times over the years. I don't understand why Jaws affected people so deeply, right? Like, because I saw it, and I remember thinking, "Man, that's terrible." But I wasn't like, "I'm never going in the water again."
So, my mother still won't go in the water. My mother will not go to the beach and go in the water because of Jaws. And you got to remember, that was what, 75?
Yeah.
75?
Jaws is 50 years
Yeah, 50
old.
years old. So it's 75. There hadn't been anything like that. Right? So you have that level of suspense. The reality of it. It wasn't a monster. It wasn't an alien. It wasn't, this. It was just a fucking shark. And the oceans, especially back then, were nowhere near as researched and known about as they are now. And we still don't know shit about the ocean. But in comparison, we know a lot more than we knew back in the 50s or back in the 75. People weren't ready for that. And I think the really was how suspenseful it was. I don't think it was the idea of the shark. I think it was the suspense that stuck with people of what they were seeing. And we all know that that was just by a fluke of luck that the fucking shark broke. that level of suspense was made because they couldn't use the goddamn shark.
Yeah.
Right? But I think that's what it was. Just that level of suspense really affected people. Because I tried showing it to my my nephew a couple weeks ago when he was here, and he's 18, but he'd never seen it. And they're like, "Oh yeah," because they were watching. I walked out, and they were all watching Final Destination, the first one. And I'm like, "Oh, so we're just watching old movies?" Like, yeah. I'm like, "Oh, can we do Jaws next?" And they're like, "Sure," because his mom had seen it. And I'm like, "You guys realize that this movie is very slow. It starts off with the first scene, but besides it goes very slow." I'm like, he's gonna be bored. After the initial scene, and it started coming to Amityville, this and that, he was just on his phone. He was done. Like he did not care. It just wasn't there. And the kids' attention span aren't there for that type of suspense anymore.
Yeah.
We got more in here. Oh yeah. So the scene with the chest buster from Alien. Nobody knew what was going to happen. So their reactions were all real, except for obviously the guy who played Kane. He knew what was going to happen, but everybody else did not know. So like when I can't think of her name now, but the other woman who she screams like bloody murder. And it's all like a legitimate fear and scream. Oh, it's beautiful. It's so good.
You're talking about the blonde woman with the short hair. That's
yeah. I can't think. I should know her goddamn name. I can't think of her name off the top of my head. I've got her fucking action figure over there. I've watched the movie 5 billion fucking times. So Spectrum Gundam says, let me bring it back. It's the kind of fear that scares you into buying Jaws Hot. I am not buying Jaws Hot Toys.
I don't think there is a Jaws Hot Toy.
I am gonna get the NECA showed that Jaws piece. It's like it's Bruce coming out of the water, like from like the gills up. I'm gonna get that. I want to see better pictures of it though, because I want to make sure it looks like Bruce and not just a
shark,
great white shark. I want to make sure it actually looks like Bruce, because Bruce has a very significant look to him, especially with how fat his cheeks are because he's a robot, and they just couldn't hide it. But it's the look. He needs to look like Bruce.
Yeah.
But Spectrum Gundam, you say things like that, I will karate chop you next time I see you. So just let that be known.
The chat's kind of slowed down. I wonder what happened to Jose. He's talked about Jaws. Che, I mean, I don't know Che's thoughts on Jaws.
Well, see,
but
what I feel happened, and I'm not going to get into specifics of it because I don't want to get canceled, but Che showed up, and then Jose's like, that is Che, and now he's gone. I feel like those two...
They can't exist in the same universe at the same time.
And they're now killing each other somewhere because they're both gone.
Oh, so it's like the younger Bruce Willis and the older Bruce Willis in that movie. Is that what you're talking about?
Exactly.
Or when they did the older Will Smith and the younger Will Smith in the movie, it was essentially the same thing.
It's the same damn movie. The movie poster Toy. Is that the one?
Yeah, with Robin Williams, where he's wearing that red top hat and it opens in the center.
Yeah, but what about the poster? I missed something. He's just like the movie poster toy. I don't. Wasn't LL Cool J in that? I feel like LL Cool J was in that movie.
I don't know.
I feel like that's a thing. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like LL Cool J was in Toy.
You know, here's an interesting question since we started talking about Jaws. How come we haven't gotten any, like, significant Jaws video games, right? Like, there was Jaws on the NES, but it was not good. And a couple of years ago, we got that awesome shark game.
I never got the second version of that shark game, but I need to. It never goes on sale. They're always like $69 for that shit. I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah, no, I mean, but it was a great game. I bought it, I played it, I got the DLC. It was fantastic. But, I mean, you would think that for a 50th anniversary, they'd be like, all right, you're going to play Jaws, right? Like, imagine Jaws in that shark game, except you're like a giant shark, and you're eating boats and stuff too. Like, it would be fantastic.
Yeah, you're basically a megalodon. All right, so we need to do clarification real quick. Joe was not talking about the movie Toy because he's talking about the Jaws thing. It's from the poster series, so it's not really a toy, but it's like that's what he's talking about. It's called. I feel like LL Cool J he played a soldier or something in this goddamn movie Toy. I swear to God, LL Cool J was in something. I feel like he was with Robin Williams, where he played like a security guard or a soldier. I feel like people need to die.
Yeah, I mean, you missed this awesome
no, I did not.
thing from Jay here.
Oh, okay, no, that's not what I thought you were gonna highlight. Yeah. If you go over them, you can see where it says show. Oh, maybe you can't.
I cannot.
Okay. Was this one?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, do you have thoughts on that? I mean, I have thoughts, but I don't know if this is the forum for that.
So you love to feed into that, but I'm too old and broken to even pretend I can beat Jose. Che, you've never been able to beat Jose. Let's just do that now. What we got? We got no. I'm going, bro. You could kung fu all you want. I got 13 friends who will stop you from typing stuff like this. Like, I am not buying a Hot Toy Predator.
I got 40 nations ready to roll, son.
See, although it was in toys, like I know I'm not fucking crazy.
I would like to go back to the comment you were just talking about because I really do think that you need to get that Jungle Hunter Predator. We've discussed this at length.
No,
but
we're not.
No.
Fuck Hot Toys.
The chat can discuss this with us.
Is the chat gonna fucking give me more money?
No. But here's the thing, right? Like, so your like film development, right? So like. The basis of your movie upbringing is Predator and Aliens, right? And currently, you have the option.
Hold on. Jay, that's only funny to you because you as well as I do, or you know as well as I do, you don't swim. Okay, that's it. You don't swim. You ain't going to the beach. You don't have to worry about that shit. You're cool in the pool. You ain't doing that. I know it.
But it's like you have this opportunity to buy the Jungle Hunter Predator,
right?
And Big Chap, the alien from the first Alien movie, in Hot Toys, right? So it'll be super detailed, tons of accessories, tons of posability, film accurate.
He's good enough, goddammit. I don't need fucking 12-inch.
No, because you can see that it's plastic and it's hard plastic and it doesn't.
Your mother is plastic.
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
He's fine. Fucking 20-inch alien is perfect. I don't need a fucking 12-inch one.
I mean, but the 12-inch one is more perfect. It's more film accurate.
No. That's all I'm gonna say. No. Bro. Deep Blue Sea.
I like that movie, man. I don't care what anybody says. I like that movie.
I love Deep Blue Sea. Deep Blue Sea, of all the shark movies that have come out since Jaws, Deep Blue Sea and The Meg are the top ones.
The Meg is great. I love that movie.
I would rather stay them not been in it because I feel like he's more useful fighting people versus a giant shark, but it's still a good movie. Meg 2, it's a different story.
Jose had an interesting question for you in the chat.
Yeah, I saw that. So I'm trying. I know, like I said, I'm trying not to ignore people.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to go through. We'll get that in just a second. According, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I already did that because Trey doesn't go in the ocean. I'm sorry, Jay doesn't go in the ocean. If I knew who that was. There we go. So, I don't even know why they called it an extended cut. They should have been there from the very beginning, Jose. For those who might be listening only, he asked about the extended cut of Predator Killers of Killers. They just released it. Have you seen Killers of Killers, Psycho?
No, I have not watched it yet. I keep meaning to, but I have not. It's right up there with Happy Gilmore 2. I want to watch it, and I have not watched it.
So it takes nothing away from the story, so it's not like it's ruining anything.
Yeah.
At the end of the movie, they show the predators have like...
They capture their prey. I know what happened. I know the cameos at the end, yeah.
I was saying, but yeah, I'm trying to explain to people, like, they capture the people who beat them, somehow. So they have, like, you see, like, thousands and millions of, like, these containment units. And the first one you see is a Neuro from, I think that might not be how you say her name, but the girl from Prey.
Okay.
The Native American girl. You see her, and then in the extended cut, they add in Murtaugh and Dutch. So, cool. They should have just been there in the beginning. I don't think it's anything so special for an extended cut. I don't know if there's more to it beyond that they added to the movie before. But it's an interesting way. I'm curious where they're going to go with it. I know they got permission from Arnold to do it. They got, like, his okay. So... I'm curious to see what they do, if they're going to do more with those characters in animated form. I'm interested to see that. But I don't think it was worth a come on out and here's the new version. What else we got? Killers. Psycho has a point. Go on, sir. Psycho does not have a point. Just like on the top of his head, there's no point. Nothing. You guys need to stop trying to make me buy stuff. That's what needs to happen. Like, every time somebody messages, the fucking chat resets, and I have to, like, find where we were at. Somebody had a point. Yeah. LL Cool J does survive. Correct. J. That's LL Cool J. His hat is like a shark's fin. Like, that's just what happens. Okay. No, there is no love for Sharknado, Jose. Sharknado is so bad that it wants to be good, and just when you think it's good, it gets bad. Like, it's so bad. I will say that Sharktopus is much better than Sharknado. I'll just throw that out there. Sharktopus is great.
I'm going to pass on both.
What? You got something wrong with a shark that has the back end of an octopus? Well, more like a squid, but they call him Sharktopus. There's something wrong with that?
I mean, not that there's anything necessarily wrong with it, just that it's so absurd. The same thing with Sharknado. It's so absurd that it's just, I'm going to pass.
Well, the second Sharktopus, where he fights Werewhale, that's a different story.
It's just it's just like Piranha, right? Well, like, there's an earthquake and there was an underground.
Tim, I respect you, but go home. Nobody watches Shark Tales. He's busy slapping people. We don't watch that.
Joe says Killer of Killers is one of the best movies. I want to watch it. I would say for me, it's going to be hard to beat Prey because I thought that Prey was probably the best film in the series.
That's
Predator's interesting for me because the first one is fantastic. A lot of people hate on the second one, but I really enjoyed it. Predators, I thought was really good as well. For what it was, I thought it was a fun, entertaining movie. The Predator, I was like, why? It doesn't even make sense. Like, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? And then we had Prey, which Prey was amazing. So I just hope that Predator Badlands ends up being good.
So, if I had to rank Predator movies, I would put Predator first. I would then put...
Are you putting Predator first because it was a better movie or because of the nostalgia?
I can't answer that because I really enjoy the first one. I really do enjoy. Like, I'll watch Predator anytime. Like, I love the first Predator movie. Prey, I could put Prey second. I could definitely put Prey second. Third, I would put Batman Dead End.
You can't count that as a Predator movie.
I'd put Batman Dead End third.
You can't count that as a Predator movie.
Then Predators. Then like the AVPs and the Predator can all get kind of like clustered together and thrown in the trash, right? Like, then, so since they're in the trash, that means after that it would just be Killer of Killers after Batman Dead End.
You don't like Predators?
I said Predators.
Okay.
Yeah, Predators before Batman Dead End. Or whatever.
Because you said you were going to put Batman Dead End at 3.
Okay, then I put Predators at fourth.
Okay.
Yeah. And then after that was those other 3, AVPs and the Predator trash.
Well, see,
I forgot about Killer of Killers, which that would then, I guess, be number 5.
But see, like, I lumped the AVP movies in with the Alien franchise for 2 reasons. One,
because Alien's first in the title. I get it.
Yeah, because Alien's first in the title. But 2, because Alien already has bad movies. 50% of the Alien movies originally were bad.
See,
the first one was good, the second one was good, the third and fourth one shouldn't exist.
See, I lump Alien and Predator movies with Alien and Predator movies because they're both in the fucking movie, right? But if you're really going to do it, I haven't looked in to see what Alien Earth, when it takes place. But if you're going to look at it that way, Alien versus Predator should be lumped in with Predator movies because they're more current movies. Like, they take place in modern times, essentially, versus all the Alien movies take place far, far, far in the future. So, but,
I mean, a lot of people in here agree with you that Predator is the best movie, and followed by Prey. I mean, and again, like, I love Predator.
Look, Dead End was amazing. See, Joe's with me. Dead End was amazing.
But for me, I think that a lot of people rank Predator above Prey because of the nostalgia, right? It's what introduced the character to the people.
So
I would argue,
if you want to call it nostalgia, maybe you can, but it's the introduction to the character, right? So I think that's why it sticks with people. It's not necessarily the nostalgia. It's the first time you see him. The same way I've said that it caused a lot of fucking drama online too, where I said how good fucking Guardians of the Galaxy was, right? There's people who prefer the second one. For me, the first one, because it was the first time I saw these characters, and that movie was just amazing. Whereas the movie after it, I already know what to expect because I've seen this movie previous, right?
Yeah.
So Predator Prey, or with Prey, I've seen Predator. I've seen everything before Prey. So I knew going into it what to expect. So it didn't like stand out as the top because the first one is the top because it's the introduction. It lays the groundwork for everything else.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you want to say that's nostalgia, then sure, but it's not like, oh, as a kid, I love this movie because, I was a child. Like, no, it's like, it's what introduces you to this. This is what built everything. You look at it like, this is a great introduction to this character.
Yeah.
People messaging me now all of a sudden. Stop messaging me. Uh, man, there's so much zombies. What the fuck? No, Gustavo, we don't watch. Okay, I did watch a zombie shark movie, but we don't watch those here. It was so bad. It was so bad.
Don't
Joe,
be
no,
smirched piranhas.
we're never going to see. We're never going to see the Predator killer suit in another. No, nobody wants to see that. Fucking the Iron Man Predator suit. Nobody wants to see that.
Jose said, "Don't besmirch piranhas." There's not a lot of besmirch. Listen, that movie was absurd. There's an earthquake. The lake has a secondary lake underneath it with eggs that lay dormant because that's how all living things exist. And then for millions of years, these legs were dormant until what happens? They get more water, apparently.
But
Right,
were
they get more water.
Weren't they like frozen? So the warm water like heated them up and like.
No, they weren't frozen.
Well, no, I don't mean like frozen. That's why like the little air quotes like they were like not frozen, but they were like hibernation because of how cold it was. Not necessarily frozen, but like they're just hibernating.
But then they hatch and they kill Richard Dreyfuss, who was clearly playing his character from Jaws. I'm sorry. The character from Jaws is not going down to a bunch of piranha. Sorry. Like, if the 30-foot shark didn't get him, those tiny piranhas are not doing it.
Which piranha are we talking about?
The one that they did, I don't know, what was it, like early 2000s?
Okay. Where they have a dick that gets bitten off and eaten by a piranha. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yo, you know damn right.
No. What I'm saying is, like, it's not besmirch. Like, it's not a besmirch, but it's true.
Piranha.
Oh, man.
Jose says, don't forget that Arnold's already like a well-established action star. He already had two Conan movies, Terminator, Commando under his belt. Then he had Predator, where he basically gets owned.
He didn't get owned. Arnold did not get owned in Predator. He was barely even injured. Everybody else in that movie got owned. Right?
True. Not gonna lie,
Had his
I'm
arm
excited
blocked
that
off.
I'm excited at Comic-Con they showed that they're doing a Jesse Ventura WWE action figure, because I'm gonna take that bitch and I'm gonna put some camos on him and put him with my Predator collection.
Do they not have a Jesse Ventura Predator figure?
No, they've only done Dutch, and then as a Comic-Con exclusive, they did Hawkins. They haven't done any other Predator character, human characters.
They didn't even do Carl Weathers?
No, they couldn't get the. So according to them, they have to get sign off on likenesses, and they can't get signed off. Carl Weathers has said several times that he'll sign, but I have a feeling it's money, that they can't come to a number agreement. But
I wonder if that's going to change now that he sadly passed away. If his family will just be like, yeah, the rest of the money's not coming in, so we'll take it.
I don't want to say I hope, but I hope.
Yeah, and I can't look at Predator and say at any point that Arnold got owned. When did he get owned? At what point in the movie was he owned? He wins at the end. The Predator has to blow himself up.
But he was getting owned the entire time. He had to trap the Predator. He had to outsmart it, which he did. He outsmarted him, set up a booby trap, and it worked. But if it wasn't for that, Arnold was done. Arnold was going to be killed if he did not walk into a trap.
Come on. Don't bullshit me.
Somebody, I didn't see, somebody was talking about mud. Tim said something. Tim, I think it's more of a shock value, something that was new at the time. It has Arnold in one of the greatest action stars of all time. I mean, all he did was put mud on his face. So, people, all right, I'm going to say this, and people, I don't even say people, I got one friend, and he's hypocritical now, shit that I haven't seen him post. But he goes off. He's a huge Predator fan, but he hates the first movie. And his biggest complaint is that Dutch puts mud on his body to hide his heat. He's like, that's not possible. That's not how it works. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, you're worried in a movie where an alien comes from space and collects skulls of its prey as trophies, and your worry is it's not accurate because mud doesn't hide body heat? People do this shit in movies, and I don't fucking get it. Like, suspend belief. Like, you're dealing with aliens, for God's sake.
Maybe he had no more belief to suspend, right? Maybe all the suspension was there. It's like, this is the straw that broke the camel's back. I can't.
I've suspended all I can suspend, and I can't suspend no more.
There you go.
Oh, fuck. Alright, see...
So you're saying that Arnold was protected by plot armor?
I'm going to karate chop this man. If I see him, if he comes up here, if I see this man, I'm going to karate chop him. And he's just going to take it.
Who is it? Do you know who that is?
Yes, I know exactly who it is.
Okay.
You know who it is, too.
Who is it?
Well, you know him.
Oh,
He's your daughter's sensei.
He was. All right.
Oh, threaten that man all day. Don't give a shit. See, exactly. This is it right here. Just because you win doesn't mean you didn't get your ass kicked.
So then the Predator also got his ass kicked.
Well, yeah, because he got smashed by a fucking tree trunk.
Yeah, but I mean, what I'm saying is, like, if both characters...
You can lose the fight but win the war, right? Like, Arnold was losing the fight, but he won the war.
But did Arnold look like he was losing the fight? That's what I'm saying.
Yes!
The Predator's beaten up, stabbed. Like, Arnold is not at death's door. Like, he doesn't even appear close to death's door.
That man was about to die. That Predator was on top of him, getting ready to murk his ass in an honorable fashion of hand-to-hand combat. And Arnold was the bitch and had to use a booby trap.
I mean, if it bleeds, we can kill it.
Same thing with the chick from Prey. She was about to die. And then she tricked the Predator and trapped his ass.
So the Predator's just dumb, essentially.
Oh, he gets outsmarted, yes, absolutely. But he never gets outsmarted like that again.
So how does the Predator die in the second movie? Does he get outsmarted there too?
Yes.
Okay.
So he gets outsmarted by Danny Glover realizing, hey, I'm going to cut your arm off so you can't blow up, right? And then he goes back to his hut and he gets outsmarted because in that movie, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, right? But there's a scene in that movie that it's very hard to see, but way, 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 way out in the dunes on the beach where it's going on, this battle's going on, there's like sand. Riggs is out there with a sniper rifle shooting the Predator, right? Because there's no way in hell that Murtaugh is beating a Predator hand-to-hand combat. That's just not happening. But Riggs, on the other hand, is the wild card.
I mean,
he was the one doing the damage.
I'd like to know how Jay feels about that idea, but yeah.
I mean, even the Predator knows not to go to South Africa. Like, that's common knowledge. I don't even think Jay's here anymore.
I think he is.
He's just sitting in the shadows waiting for a moment.
Yes. When we least expect it, then he'll say something.
So, all right. This is one thing with the Predators. Look, Jay has arrived. So, where was it?
In fact, the
Yeah,
Predator
so
could have just killed Arnold.
right, so that is one the weakness of the Predator, right? Is the pride that he takes in the hunt, in the battle, in the fight. Because if he just wanted to kill them, he could have killed all of them from a distance with a plasma caster and been done with it.
Yeah.
They're not going to stop that. But he took care of everybody else in the ways he wanted. And then he's like, you know what? We're going to go hand in hand. I'm going to drop my shit. We're going to do this. The pride and honor of it. That was his real weakness. Is that he let his ego and the pride get in the way of his mission of collecting that skull.
Well, because I mean, he had already beaten everybody else, so now it's like I'm going to take the strongest one, and that happens in Prey as well, right? So, like when he kills when he kills the grizzly bear, right? That everybody's afraid of. That was supposed to be the same thing. Like I took out the biggest hunter in this area.
In theory, yes, but yes, there is a difference because at no point did the grizzly bear have an M14 rifle that he's been running around shooting and trying to kill him with, right? The grizzly bear is literally just a grizzly bear. He's got claws, but he's a bear. So it's a little different, but still hand to hand. So yes.
There's a question in the chat.
I see. Match day coach. Hey guys, sorry to interrupt, but can I ask a question about toy grading and flipping? If you can ask away, I can give you the best answer I can. But thanks for joining us, Match Day. I have no idea who you are. You're a new name to my eyes. Thank you for being here, man. But ask away. We can go off topic all day. It's no problem. Mud, yeah. Gustavo, you're right. Mythbusters tested it. It won't do it. But it's a goddamn sci-fi movie. It'll be okay. I promise you. Leave Murtaugh alone. Danny Glover. Yeah, exactly. Danny Glover did get his ass handed to him as well. And he got lucky because he had that fucking disc, and he jammed it up the fucking stomach of the Predator and beat him with his own fucking weapon. Really, it comes down to it. The Predator is a master hunter, and he's great at his thing, but he makes dumb choices. This is really what it turns into.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. I am curious, though, Match Day, while you ask your question, how did you find us? Because, like I said, I'm not familiar with your name, unless you're somebody else under a different account, which is always a possibility. I am curious how you came upon the chat here. Oh, man. So, while he's getting his thing, and he brought up, flipping and not... Oh, there's the question. Let's see. I'm just trying to figure out if getting into toy collecting and flipping is worth it. I'm big into WWE collecting, and I know Kenner Star Wars well. I have the money. So, that's hard. To do toys, there's a lot of competition when it comes to toys, especially on the vintage side. You got people who also buy from around the world. If you're going to get into it, I say stay away from retail, stick to vintage, but you have to start small, and you have to build a brand that people trust. Yeah, it's a hard one, man. Grading, and I know you're asking about grading. You said you saw one of my shorts about grading. Grading is rough too, because to me, grading means nothing. It's just putting your figure in a nice case. To me, there's no added value. That's all subjective on the person looking to buy it. So you also run into that with flipping, right? You get these toys that we see on eBay. You find out that you have vintage Kenner or Star Wars. Oh yeah, eBay it sells for this much, or you see people have bought it for this much. But the question is, can you sell it for that much? It becomes real hard because there's no value on these things. It's a bubble. It's all fake inflation, fake values. It just depends on the person in front of you if they're willing to pay for it. It's really not an easy thing to get into.
Yeah, I mean, I would say keep a couple of things in mind, right? Like, so you didn't specifically say you were looking to get into like buying and flipping vintage toys, but like Weezy was saying, everything is speculative, right? So and things are only worth what people are willing to pay. And so if they're not willing to pay, then you have a bunch of stuff that you're waiting to get rid of. If you're looking for new items, right, that might be worth something, that's difficult because toys are so mass produced now that it kind of pulls away the value. And I'm going to say something that Weezy may or may not agree with, but right now, if you're looking for things that are going to kind of hold value and increase in value, you'd be looking at certain like adult Lego collector sets, right? Because Legos never go down in price; they only go up. But you're holding on to those 5, 6, 7, 8 years until they retire the product before you see any kind of substantial return on it. But also, Hot Toys has now started an artisan line, and the artisan lines are very exclusive. They're numbered, they're limited, and they are released at specific times. And usually within the first 15 minutes, they're all gone. And there may be 100 of them, there may be 250, there may be 500, and those things tend to turn a good profit if you're able to snag one, if that's what you want to do. But it's also, this is kind of where we get into the conversation about scalping, right? Like, there are people who collect this because they find joy in it. And if all you're trying to do is to make money off of it, like, you're kind of robbing someone of an opportunity to have something that might mean a lot more to them unless they're willing to pay a significantly higher price. But there aren't a lot of people in the world who, especially now, can afford to pay a higher price. So it's kind of, what is it you're trying to do, and what is it that you kind of want it to be?
Right. So when I think of flipping, because I buy things here and there and I flip them, but I don't buy current stuff, right? Because I feel if you're buying current stuff and you're selling it for a profit like that, you're going, especially high profit, you're scalping, right? Because it's a widely available item, and you're just taking it away from people who can get it. Let's let them get it themselves. Now, when it comes to vintage stuff that's no longer available, it's free game because it's not an active product. It's yours. It's whatever. It's vintage. You can ask the moon. That's all between you. That's is part of the sport. But yeah, it's definitely a rough one to get into. What I would say is if you contact Shellhead Tony, my other co-host from Drinks and Toys, he's working on doing more with like turtles and vintage, and we'd love to. He could talk your ear off about it and the struggles he's had come with, and what his plans are and the way he's working around it. But it's definitely a hard one to do, especially on that, because like I said, there's so much competition. What I would also recommend is look on Facebook in your local area for any toy conventions or toy shows or cons or whatever that are specifically toy or vintage toy, and go check them out. Walk around. You'll see your competition. You'll see what they're pricing stuff at and what's realistic for you. And go from there and be like, is it really worth it? Seeing what they're selling it for versus what you can get it for. Because another problem that I've been seeing, because I've been trying to get some Ninja Turtles, is that people like, they're like, oh, I've got 7 vintage Ninja Turtle figures loose. I want $150. Like, it ain't fucking worth that. It's worth maybe 20. But people who are selling them don't know, and they just think it's worth gold. So definitely check that out. But I suggest, like I said, come watch us on Tuesday nights at Drinks and Toys, and we talk about that type of stuff a lot. So definitely, you can get a lot more information from Shellhead Tony and J5 on those shows. They can definitely steer you in a direction. So check us out Tuesdays. It's usually every Tuesday at 9 o'clock. Check us out there, and we can definitely go further. Oh, man. What else we got in here? I saw Che say something, or Jay. God damn Jay. Frustrating me with that.
No, he made a great point. Like,
go ahead. I missed it.
No, so he said But these are all basically new hunters, though. So the way they lose is in fact plausible. It's youthful hubris.
Okay, yeah.
And I mean,
So
he
back
makes
to
an excellent
Predators.
point.
So, yes, the idea of Predator is that the ones who are on Earth, generally speaking, is people have their own interpretation, but when you read the lores and everything, usually the predators that are on Earth are younger predators. They're working their way up in the ranks, type of thing. So they're all usually on the younger side. So yeah, it happens. They make their mistakes. Their mistakes cost them their lives, but they definitely do make their mistakes. But that's why when you see, like in Alien vs. Predator, you see the wolf predator. He's like the cleanup crew, comes around and starts killing everything. Or you see in The Predator, the fugitive, he's a more decent predator. That's why he's like that scene getting out of the lab. He's like John Wick. He's just fucking murking everything because he's got more skill. He's not a young one, but hopefully
That movie
Badlands.
was still bad.
I mean, it had good moments.
No, it did not.
That landscape scene is amazing. When that predator grabs that machine gun and fucking murking people, it's hilariously great. Oh man, but I hope Badlands is they dive more into that, showing more of the more skilled predators, so people could really understand that. Because you see people all the time like, oh, Predator versus this person. If Arnold could beat him, then they could lose it. Like, these are kids. That's like me walking into a fucking elementary school and hitting a child in the face and be like, I beat him. Like, no, it's not the same. You can't do that. We got to see the real age, the blooded, the veteran predators. I hope Badlands shows more of that. Oh man,
I don't know how I feel about Predator Badlands yet. The trailer was cool looking, but like, it kind of feels like they're trying to do a buddy comedy action movie, like, and so I don't know. I'll have to wait and see.
what do you mean cheat, Gustavo? The rogue predators. Which rogue predators are we discussing? Because that could mean different things. That could mean different things. Give him a moment to respond in here. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, man. Tuesday, come back, check us out. Love to have you, man. Thanks for joining in, though. That was awesome, bro. Glad you found us. Oh man, but while Gustavo types this thing up, if he responds, just say screw it. Go back on the toy side real quick, just because we're going all over the place. Why not? Comic-Con. I know what you liked. I don't know if you're frozen right now. You might be. You look like you are. And now you sound choppy. So, this might be coming to an end. And you're gone. Damn. I saw that coming. He just froze. Well, never mind. So, in the chat, though, people, I was going to ask Mr. Psycho about the, what were you kind of upset you didn't see at Comic-Con that you were hoping to see? And what do you think at Comic-Con was announced that was a flop, like the actual flops of the show? Let's see. The use of hunting dogs and hunt honorable predator, I think they're called the bad blood. Okay, yes. So, no. Yes? No? Kinda? Bad Blood is from a comic. They kind of referred to Bad Blood in the Predator movie, the one where they come after the child with autism. They kind of referred to the Bad Blood thing there. Because those predators were using DNA from other creatures to make themselves stronger. They're altering their DNA. So they use them as Bad Blood. In the comics, a Bad Blood is a predator who's kind of been banished, I believe, if I remember correctly. It's been a long time since I've read that far back in the stories. And I'm getting old. And I've been drinking. But those predators are ones that do hunt other predators. They're like the mercenaries. Hey, look, you're back. But those are like the mercenaries. If you're talking about the Predators, say in the movie The Predators, where Adrian Brody's on that planet and they trapped all the humans and they use those other hounds to hunt and everything. They hunt and they have the like a jungle hunter predator held hostage. Those are different species of predators. So those are our first time introduced to them. You don't get a real backstory as to who they are, what their rules are. The stories or the rules we know with Predator are based on the canon we have, and those are all of kind of the same style of Predator, like the jungle hunters that we know from the first few movies. That style of Predator. So we haven't had a movie that shows the actual stories of the bad blood predators and what they do, where they come from, why they are. In the comics, they go over them a lot. I just can't give you the exact details of it because it's been a long time.
So what were you going to ask me about the convention?
No, just anything that you were hoping to see, the disappointments, basically, that you were hoping to see that didn't get shown, that wasn't announced, and then anything you saw that you feel like was just a flop, a complete letdown.
I mean, for me personally?
Yeah, I don't need you asking for your neighbor.
Yeah, so, I mean, I heard you guys talking about this on Tuesday, and while I thought that the display for the 97 X-Men figures, right, like X-Men 97, was cool, I didn't think it was that big a deal, right? Like, they're releasing some figures that I couldn't get at the beginning, so I didn't get the line, right? Like, it's like, okay, I'll buy these. But I also didn't go searching for them because they started the X-Men line before that, right? Like, and they were putting them out in the VHS boxes.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And I was buying those. And then they're like, hey, guess what? We're canceling this, and we're going to move to this. And they're going to look similar, but they're going to look different enough that you're going to need to rebuy the other stuff. And I was just like, eh. And then I couldn't find them in the stores. Right? And so while I thought the display was cool, and Tony made this huge point about the laser beam from Cyclops' eye, which would be awesome if they gave it to you. There's no indication whether or not it's actually going to be part of either the Sentinel or Cyclops or anything. So for me,
if it was part of anything, it would have to be the Sentinel. There's no way they're going to release a 3-foot fucking laser beam with the action figure himself.
But
the packaging won't allow that.
But for me, I didn't care, right? Like
I get it. It looked cool. The display looked cool, but there was a lot lacking, in my opinion, also when it came to what they're actually offering. Right?
Yes.
Like the display looked great for a show. It looks amazing. But I've noticed that, and it's the same thing. I think a lot of the companies that I was looking at, I feel that a lot was missing at Comic-Con this year.
Agreed, and that's something you guys spoke about Tuesday.
When it comes to reveals, I feel like there's a lot of lacking, and I do feel. I mentioned the other day on Drinks and Toys also, is that I think that possibly a lot of that is due to stuff being held up, didn't make it in time. Due to shipping or whatever, just didn't make it in time for the show, and they couldn't show what they don't have. I hope that's it. I hope there's more.
I mean, I'm disappointed every year in a lack of Ghostbusters stuff. Like, I feel like there's so much you could do with the Ghostbusters line and Hasbro. Like, and it's the same thing. Like, I don't understand how these companies like Hasbro put themselves in situations where they're not making money when they could make money. They did it with the Lightning Collection, getting rid of Power Rangers and shipping it off to Playmates. The Ghostbusters figures, like, there's a lot of things they could do, and they just don't.
So I've had a theory on Ghostbusters, and I feel it's a very strong possible theory when it comes to them. I don't think Ghostbusters is a retail line. I don't think Ghostbusters will succeed in retail just because you need the fans, right? And as great as the movie is, and it does have a very big fan base, but not every Ghostbuster fan buys action figures. majority, well, not majority, but a good portion of Ghostbuster fans buys props.
Yeah.
They cosplay, they do that stuff. They don't actually buy the toys. So the toy collector side of Ghostbusters is much smaller. I don't think they have the draw for a steady retail presence.
You're absolutely right. But I mean, and again, but that's something that the people who, Hasbro, the people who work at Hasbro should know this. If you know it and I know it and collectors know it, there's absolutely no reason. So for Hasbro to release a line of toys into the retail and then say, hey, they didn't sell. Well, what were you expecting, right? Like, it wasn't that long ago when they released, I don't know if it was a Sentinel or something else that was not HasLab, but you had a certain amount of time to pre-order and they would make what was pre-ordered.
That's the ones that were shown at the at the con.
And so it's like, they could do that with Ghostbusters. They could have done that with Power Rangers. But they don't.
So, yes. And I feel, and Hasbro, I know you watch. They don't fucking watch. But I know they do. I've said since the beginning that not even HasLab. You could do a HasLab, but you'd have to offer a lot, right? Because the general price point of HasLabs have a mark. But with the first time they started doing the Sentinel and the Dragon Man with the pre-order way versus a HasLab model, all you got to do is put your Ghostbuster waves through that model. People will buy and let that be it. Because personally, I don't need the four guys in suits. I don't need them in suits anymore. I honestly don't need them in their lab coats. That's just me personally. Right? Mattel went through and did all those. It was cool, but it's not a necessity.
No, I mean, I want the figures we do need. Like,
when I look up here at this shelf, this top shelf is my Ghostbusters. When I look up there and I look at the Ghostbusters franchise as a whole, we are missing some very key elements, right? For that collection, there's no Janine.
Yep.
Right? There's
from Ghostbusters 1 or Ghostbusters 2.
Right. There's no Janine at all. There's no Peck. There's no, and I can understand the argument that, it might not sell because, it's just people in normal clothing, right? I get that. But there's no Dana. There's Azul, but there's no Dana.
There's no mayor.
I don't fucking need a mayor.
I mean, if you have a Walter Peck, you need a mayor. Like, if you have a Walter Peck, you need a mayor.
The Walter Peck doesn't have a dick. Like, he gets in. You don't have a Louis Tully. You have him as Vince, right?
Which they released so limited it was crazy. Like at the Comic-Con they did that. They released the Louis Tully. No, I got one too. But they released that same year the Draken Evo 3, and they're like, that's it, you can only get it. And fans complained, and they're like, fine, we'll resell it again. But they never resold the Vince. It's like, what are you doing?
Yes. But then you look at the new movies, right? We've got the kids.
Yep.
Okay, cool. I appreciate having them. I got the old Ghostbusters. I got Ghost Egon.
Yep.
I need Ant-Man in his suit.
I need Janine in her suit.
I just need Janine.
Well, I mean, I want a Janine in the suit.
That's fine. I'm just saying we just need a Janine in general. But yes, Janine in the suit. That's fine to match with the old boys. Put them up there. But you need Ant-Man in his suit.
The mom.
Callie, I believe you need her in her suit, right?
Yep.
But that line, for me, drastically, is missing ghosts.
Yeah. Like, where is
Ghosts.
Where is the guy from Frozen Empire, the bad guy? Yeah. Why did we not get a Garaka figure? Why do we not have a Vigo figure? This is where Jay needs to say he's Vigo.
Yeah, it's
like,
I don't get it. To me, if I was doing, like, I understand why they did the gray suit Ghostbusters with the HasLab. I get it. It's Ghostbuster 2. You get this Ecto 1A. Cool. That's the way to get them out. But I was really hoping with the HasLab that it was going to be the Ecto ones, and they're going to give you the characters we were missing as the tiers. You know,
Yes.
you can get the characters that were missing, the ghosts that were missing. This is the way we're going to do it. Finish out the line, give you guys what you need. They didn't do it. So now I do think that they should do it with that pre-order aspect. Let me pre-order the wave. Give me 6 figures. You know, give me the Callie and Ant-Man.
Gary.
Give me Baraka.
Gruberson.
No, Ant-Man.
No, Gary Gruberson.
Ant-Man. God damn it. Give me Garaka. And then throw in the Solari brothers.
Yeah.
Right? Give me them as a wave.
I want
Even
a
as
Slimer.
5. Huh?
I want a Slimer.
They didn't do a Slimer?
No.
As I look up there and I see like 7 Slimers, but I also have like my Diamond Selects and my Hotels. Like they're all
Mattel did a Slimer. Hasbro has not done a Slimer. They've done mini puffs.
No, but Slimer's in the HasLab.
Okay, with the Ecto 1.
Yeah,
Yeah, and so is the Library Ghost.
you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, give me those. Like, I would love all the other ghosts, but you know, when you really look at it, the other ghosts in the movies, there aren't any like really standout ghosts outside of Slimer, the Scolari brothers.
I want the taxi driver. The taxi driver's always been cool, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, but him, like all the other ghosts in the movies, at least for the first 2 movies, right? All the other ghosts are just like quick cameo ghosts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's no story, there's no anything. You don't even see him get busted, right? You see him maybe run, or you see the ghost, but you don't actually see anything.
Give me the jogger ghost then. You watch him get pulled into the trap.
God damn it.
I'm just saying.
But then, like, I think about with the newer ones, right? You got the newer ones going, and when they're in that like that facility where they have like the off location facility,
Yeah.
there was cool ass ghosts in there. Like, I want those go. Like, just give me.
You
more
want
ghosts.
Pukey?
I'll take a Pukey. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But give me more ghosts. Like that's what it seems to be missing, and I think that's one of the big issues. Same thing when they redid the real Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
More ghosts. He gave us Green Ghost in the toilet. Okay, cool. And the Bug Eye Ghost, but like, bring back those. That's what people want. But
Yeah.
that's also why Mondo is killing it. But
No, and I agree with you. It's like it's crazy that you have these companies where there are people who
exactly.
have degrees in marketing, right? Like an advertisement. They should know what people want and what's going to sell, but instead they act like they don't know, and then like, oh my god, I can't believe it didn't sell.
So you got to remember, when it comes to that stuff, they don't know what the collector wants, right? They go by numbers based on this line that has nothing to do with it, and all the analytics of this, and this, and what school taught them, right? When in reality, y'all need to listen to the fans, because especially a line like that, like you said, if it's not going to be a retail thing, kids aren't going to be buying it. You're making it for the fans. Give the fans what they want, and
Yeah.
they will pay. They've proven it. I fucking ordered all of the fucking real Ghostbusters,
Me too.
$200 a piece for those sets, because I want those goddamn ghosts. I didn't even need the Ghostbusters. I want the ghosts. But Mondo isn't stupid. They're like, we're gonna sell the Ghostbusters by themselves, but if you want those fucking ghosts, you gotta buy the set with the Ghostbuster.
To be fair,
'Cause
like
they're not dumb.
to be fair, I don't know that anyone who's a Ghostbusters collector like we are could pass up the Mondo Ghostbusters. You said you could I mean, you can't. They're so well done. They look so amazing.
No, they look amazing, right?
but you couldn't be like, I don't need that.
They look amazing. but I could for the simple fact of I have the Diamond Select ones, and there is a big difference. I can't say the Diamond Select, they have their flaws. I get that. But for the price at $100, I don't need those real Ghostbusters at $100. I need those ghosts. The ghosts are not negotiable. Like those ghosts, it's the fucking boogeyman. Like I need those ghosts. I have to pay $300 or $200 a piece because that's come with the goddamn Ghostbuster. It just is what it is. It's gonna look great set up, but if it was literally just the Ghostbusters and they were $100 a piece, I'd probably be passing on them. The only one I would consider getting would be Ray, just because it's Ray and he's my number one and from real Ghostbusters. I have a history with the toy. Like I'd get that. Like when they offer Ray for pre-order, I'm gonna order the set with him and Gash.
Okay.
And I'm gonna order a second Ray by himself.
Why? You're not going to open the
because he's Ray. So like I'll have them back there somewhere set up, but then I'll have the Ray by himself on my desk here also. Standing next to his real Ghostbuster toy counterpart.
I feel about the Ghostbuster figures the exact same way you're talking about the Ghosts. Like I'm super excited about the Ghosts too, but I like when Diamond Select came, I was like, those are cool, but I'm not paying that money for those, right? Because I didn't buy the Diamond Select ones.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm not going to spend that money on those figures because they don't look that ultimate to me. They don't look like they're worth that money. But these at $100, everything about them is perfect.
See, I got the Diamond Selects at $20. So $20, those Diamond Selects were amazing.
Yeah, no, I only saw them at like, I think like 40, and I wasn't paying that.
It's a shame that, or Spectrum says it's a shame there isn't more cartoons to sell like they used to get the youngsters into it the way Hasbro does with Transformers. I mean, kids don't watch cartoons, man.
No, not anymore. Not the way they used to.
Yeah. Yeah, they used to make cartoons just to sell a toy line. Like they'd be like, "Here's the toys, now make a cartoon."
That's why they canceled Real Ghostbusters, because they didn't sell enough toys. Or not Real Ghostbusters, Extreme Ghostbusters,
yeah.
Which was a great show, but they canceled it because they didn't sell enough toys. And then people were like, "Hey, we want a toy of Garrett," and they're like, "No, it's insensitive to do that. Like it's insensitive to show a disabled person being empowered."
But they made it.
No, they didn't. They had a prototype. They had a prototype.
That's what they made it. They just never released that shit.
Well, because they said that it was insensitive.
But they made it, is the point. It wasn't insensitive enough to make. It's insensitive enough to release. That's the problem.
I mean, to be honest, I would love for Hasbro to do something with Extreme Ghostbusters, right? Or if not, Mondo. Like, I would love to see an Extreme Ghostbusters set.
Do you remember 2 years ago now that those images popped up of the 3D images of
Kylie and the Hispanic guy? I forget.
No, it was Kylie, and then there was the Fright Feature Egon that had the swappable tie, so you had like the broken tie and then the full tie. So I don't
remember that. But.
So it was those two, and then it was the 4 Ghostbusters, real Ghostbusters, and then Sam Hain.
Okay, I remember Sam Hain. I remember Kylie. I don't remember the Egon with the broken tie.
Yeah, well, you know the Fright Feature one, the white suit.
Yeah, because in my actual original figure, the tie is broken. So I get what you're saying.
Everybody's is, right? So when the guy made the 3D thing rendering, he had like on the side like accessories, and one of the accessories was a broken tie that you could swap on and have a broken tie. The guy who made those, he works for Mondo, and he's the one who's now sculpting the line for Mondo. And he's recently showed what his take on a Dana in Real Ghostbusters would be.
I've seen that picture. Yeah.
So that's just his own take. It's not like it's this coming, but he's the guy who did it, Alex Brewer. So he's the one who did it, and they're going deep into it because obviously they show they're doing Janine with a desk.
Yep.
extra legs.
How do you
all
feel
that
about
shit.
that? You gonna get it?
No. Yes.
I don't want to, but I am.
Really, I think I want it because of the fucking desk. To have her sitting at the desk. What do you want? Like, that's what I want so bad. Um, but yeah, so I mean, they're gonna go with Ghostbusters, but the point is that he's already done, obviously, a Kylie.
Yeah.
So there's no reason why it's not on their radar at least. Like, yep, we can go that route too.
What is it? It's Kylie. It's Eduardo. Raymond. No.
I don't know the
That's
other
the voice actor.
than
Roland.
Gary.
Roland. And then Garrett
Yeah, and then old Egon and Winston.
and old Janine. Well, I mean, all the original Ghostbusters were in the show.
Yeah, but they weren't featured like crazy. It was Egon was like the most prominent, wasn't he? If I
Yes.
remember correctly.
And then the rest of them show up in the last 2 or 3 episodes
Yeah.
to end the show. I think it was like Back in the Saddle.
And I'm thinking old Winston, but I think I'm picturing old Winston from the comic books
Yeah.
versus the cartoon. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. But if I think they'll happen, and it'll be Mondo, and then Mondo will want more money.
I'll give it to him for those.
Well,
Right,
wait till you wake up and it's like, oh, Mondo teases an Ecto 1 for real Ghostbusters.
I'll buy that too. I mean, it's unfortunate, but I mean, like I talked about at the beginning of the show, man, like Ghostbusters, Ninja Turtles are it for me. I like Power Rangers the first 2 seasons, but I'm not interested in the Bandai or the Playmate Power Rangers. That Megazord is big. I've seen a picture where somebody bought it and like they put all of them that have been released, the 93, the Legacy,
Right.
or the 2010, the Legacy, the Hasbro, and now this one, and that one like towers above all of them. And then of course you got the guy who took a picture with the new Playmates one, and they put it next to the one where you build the Megazord, like you get the pieces in the magazines and you actually build them.
Right. The
Like,
Eagle Moss one or whatever.
yeah, like I would love to have that, but I don't have that kind of money.
I don't know if it's Eagle Moss that did that one, but Eagle Moss, they do the same type of thing. They were doing Ecto 1.
Yeah.
You use a subscription thing, and every month you got a different piece of the Ecto 1, and then the company went under. But then another company took over, and
Yeah.
they're continuing the Ecto 1.
Well, the Power Ranger one isn't Eagle Moss; it's a different company, and it was finished in Japan, and they started doing the subscription here. And then a couple of issues into it, they're just like, hey, if you want to do the subscription, that's fine because we're not going to do payment plans, or you can just buy all the pieces out all at once. But buying all the pieces all at once was like $800. But the thing is over 2 foot tall when you build it. Like it's crazy. It lights up. It makes noises. Like it's absolutely insane.
Yeah, I think the Ecto 1, after everything, because I remember when they first looked into it, I priced it out. And I think it wound up being like $2,500 after everything. I was like, holy crap. I would have loved to have done it. To build that thing in all metal, that'd been great, but I don't got time for that. Or money for that. Man, the chat has died, right?
Yeah.
But people are here. I can see that we've got 5 viewers right now still, so hey, people are still here, which is cool.
People were super involved when we were talking about movies. That was cool.
Yeah, no, that's always a good one. Movie,
I think video games would be good too. I thought that the Jaws video game thing was a nice segue, but
that fucking
you win some, you lose some.
no, that always come up another time. But I think I'm gonna have to start cutting this out though, because we're over 2 hours. I was gonna do like an hour show tonight. It's it's gone really well, so that's awesome. Why, because I was looking at the time like, oh, we're at an hour. I'm like, all right, we're gonna end this soon, and then it's like it was just too fluid. Like you can't just end it. Like if just let it go. But that's what I've noticed is that people get really talkative when you start talking about the movies, which is why Tony or Shellhead Tony is always very adamant about doing movies because he likes the chat to talk and it helps everything go. See, he like perfect example. Joe, he can contribute to movies, and he corrects himself. He didn't mean toys; he means games. Toys, not so much.
Yeah.
It's just it's such a wide range that you can do. You know.
It's going to drive me crazy because I can't remember the name of that shark game that came out a couple of years. We were talking about it. That would be
Maneater.
great, huh?
Maneater.
Yeah, that game was amazing.
Yeah.
And then the DLC they put out when you could like level up your shark to shoot laser beams and stuff.
Yeah, I never got the DLC because like every time I try to get like the second, they're like they want $69 for DLC. I'm like, no.
It
But
was great though.
I love the game. The game was so much fun. Joe, have you played Maneater? I'm curious because I came upon that game on accident. That shit was like $5 at Walmart when I bought that bitch. But it was a lot of fun. Fucking first off eating like fish and then gators and then fucking boats and whales.
Man, I got so frustrated with that game in the beginning because when you move into the swamp and you have to fight the alligators, I was getting wrecked. And then I've discovered the strategy, and like I remember being able to beat the alligators. And once you start eating the alligators, it's done. Like you're just powerful as hell.
Oh, really? Damn, Joe. Oh, I hit the wrong one. There you go. Stuck on the last boss fight. Oh, for the DLC or for the original? Because I've never done the DLC one. Because I'll tell you what, in the orcas were pissing me off. The killer whales,
Yeah.
they were starting to piss me off in that game. I'd be like, I see you over there. Just leave me alone. I got shit to do. And they'd be like, oh, you're in my territory, bitch. And then they'd come at me. Then I'm fucking spinning and juking and jiving, trying to get away. Oh,
I don't know. By the time I got, like, I had so much fun just being a shark in that game that I ended up being overpowered for every area that I was in after that. So,
well,
like, I would go into the area higher in level than I was supposed to be and just, like, laying waste to everything.
because, like, if I remember correctly, you had gave me the information that once I got to a certain point, the green fish would, like, become scarce.
Yeah.
So I made sure to, like, get everything and get as many as I could and get up there to get that leveled all the way up before they got scarce. And that definitely helped out a lot. Like,
I don't know why they never made a sequel to that game. They said they were working on it and they were going to continue it, and then nothing has happened.
but I don't know why the DLC was so damn expensive.
I mean, when it first came out, the DLC was $30. I saw it a month or two ago on Xbox, and it was like $10. You could buy the entire game, the original game and the DLC as a complete package for $20.
Because every time I look it up, it's fucking like $60. I'm like, Jesus Christ, for DLC. I don't remember which one Scaly Pete is.
He's the guy who kills the mother and cuts the baby shark out of the mother shark,
Okay.
and then your shark bites off his hand and he stabs it and throws it in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah,
Oh, I remember the fucking, yeah, we keeps dropping the fucking bombs and shit from the...
So the Apex edition is normal priced at $50. So that's the original game and the DLC add-on. But the DLC by itself is...
Oh, so maybe that's what I've been seeing is that...
You can buy the DLC by itself for $15.
Oh, okay, then I'll do that tomorrow.
Yeah, the DLC itself is $15.
All right, cool. I'll get that. I need to finish that game.
Game was amazing. I was thinking about rebuying it on the Nintendo Switch because I had so much fun with it. I noticed it's on the Switch. The other, like, couple of weeks ago, it was on sale there, and I'm like, oh man, I can play this game on the go.
But didn't they make another one of those games, but with like a bear?
No, not that same company. I don't know if a different company did it, but
I feel like there was another Maneater with a different animal. Maybe not.
I don't know.
But, well, we're gonna wind this down, guys. I gotta go to bed. I've been working all fucking day. Um, I work out parking lot 10 hours a day, and it's been like 110 degrees. And I didn't want to go to the gym, but I had a chance, so I wound up going. So I'm done. Oh, look at that! Joe's got it modded on his Switch. So
Yeah, no, I got the Switch 2, and everything runs better on the Switch 2. And so I saw it in the store, and I'm like, man, this is one of those games that's just mindless fun. I could kind of take it on the go, but I decided to save the money towards a game I don't already have that I haven't already 100%ed.
you're a hater. So
How am I hating?
well, like I said, Psycho, thank you for coming out.
Thank
It
you
was
for
great
having
having
me.
you, man. This I wasn't sure how well it was gonna go. I thought you'd be a little rusty on it, but it went well. I honestly feel like this kind of went better than all of our previous attempts back in 1920. So I think it was a much more solid experience, and part of that is because of the live chat. It just helps
Yeah,
with everything, you know.
the chat's been
Um,
great.
And for those who care, maybe you don't, Jay will be on here eventually once we figure out his video capabilities.
We got to get his old tagline at the end because that was a great way to end the show all those years ago.
Yeah, but the only way I would put it, I mean, I'd have to like play it through here versus at the end. Gustavo, I'm sitting here saying we're out, we're good night, thank you for coming, and then you pop up with this. Have you all heard about the new Shark game? Like, like now I have to see what the.
No, but I heard about that new game that's supposed to be Jurassic Park, but not Jurassic Park.
This man just said it's called Shark Dentist. What the fuck?
Oh, I have seen that. The trailer, the guy gets his head bit off by the shark.
God damn it!
Look up the trailer, Weezy.
I will.
It's exactly what he says it is.
He didn't say it's anything. He just says it's a shark dentist.
No, shark. That's what I'm saying. It's Shark Dentist. It's literally a shark anesthetized on a table, and you're a dentist cleaning teeth and picking teeth, and then in the trailer, you do something wrong, and the shark wakes up and bites off the head.
He probably deserved it. So, cool. All right, guys. Yeah, we're out of here. Tuesday night, Shellhead Tony will be back with me, and we'll be doing drinks and toys. Hopefully, J5 will be there. Can't guarantee he'll get his stuff all in order. And then we'll be back with Collector's Hideout. Probably 2 weeks, but who knows? We might turn Collectors into a weekly thing. Right now, it's still every 2 weeks, but it might turn weekly because I just been having a lot of fun doing it. So, but thank you again, guys. See you next time. Psycho, just hang out for a minute, and we'll close up afterwards.
All right.
All right? Later, guys.